That's not Nathan West. That is Cassius Faison. What's up, my General Hospital peeps? And I was right. That is not the real Nathan West. No, we found out at the very, very end of this kind of not so good episode of GH was that a lot of us is correct. That it's not Nathan West, Cassius Faison. So I'm wondering, I'm guessing he's one of Faison's long lost children, or maybe someone that actually did live with Faison, but I'm guessing he's never been on the show, maybe. I don't know. But so now that we know the truth, you know, there's still a lot more questions. Well, Sidwell already knows that he's Cassius Faison, so that well, I guess since Sidwell's worked closely with Faison, so I guess Cassius was also working on this project, and you're thinking about it, cause Britt, her remember when she used to get her meds? It was signed C, so it made me wonder who that could be. That's like, is her father really alive? Then I was like, well, Cullen popped up, and I was like, oh, well, maybe it's Cullen. And then now it's like, why just Cassius was in on this all along? Cause remember, about the periodic table, he knows it. He knows all about that. So maybe he's the one that created the medicine or whatever. But if he's smart like that, then why does he have Britt doing the work? I don't know. But like I said, I did a whole video talking about the reasons why I don't believe that that's Nathan, but I couldn't think of who could it be. So, but I'll link that at the end of the video if you want to check that out. So yeah, it makes me also wonder: does he really love Lulu, or does he really have attraction to Lulu? Makes me wonder. Hmm. Does he really, or is he just doing that as a way to, stay away from Maxie, so that Maxie's not persuaded, trying to get back with him, maybe. Even though she said she wants to be with Spinelli, and he was cool with it. I don't know. But it makes me wonder, did he get surgery to look like Nathan? Or is he Nathan's twin that I never knew about? Liesel, she gave Nathan to um, Nina's parents. But what happens if Faison, took the twin or whatever? Or maybe Liesel knew that there was a twin and never said anything because she was sworn to secrecy, or she knew about the twin but thought the twin died or something, so she never, said anything about it. I don't know. Or maybe, since she did give Nathan over to Nina's parents, maybe that's a way she couldn't save Cassius, so she was only able to save Nathan. So never wants to speak of the other twin ever again. But yeah, we're gonna need Liesel to come back. But she went on that retreat, so it makes me wonder if it seemed like somebody was behind that whole retreat, and so maybe it was Nathan. No, sorry, Cassius Faison that was behind it, or Sidwell working to get her out of town so that she wouldn't be able to pick up on suspicions or whatever. But yeah, it also makes me wonder: Britt does Britt know about him? Does she know that he's really not Nathan? But 'cause I forgot somebody I mentioned reminded me that at the big Soap Dirt. That's why I was watching how Soap Dirt. It's funny because we did the same video about Nathan not being Nathan. I watched hers a couple days later. I guess she posted hers before mine, and I didn't see it till like a few days later. But anyway, she reminded. I was like, oh yeah, when Britt first saw Nathan, she seems kind of scared, like she was taken back, like she was worried. But then, after talking to him for a while, she, wasn't scared anymore. It's like, hmm, maybe she knew about Cassius and was worried that he was taking Nathan's place, or she didn't believe that Nathan was actually back from the dead. But also still raises questions because Cassius, they found him on the side of the road, crashed truck, knocked out and stuff. But I have a theory about what happened right there, but you have to watch. You have to watch my other video. But anyway, I have a had an idea about what happened with that crash and why that crash happened. But you have to watch my video, so if you haven't watched it already, yeah, self promotion. That's the most important, very important, especially on YouTube. Try to um get some views, get some views, and plus, I think that's one of my best videos. Honestly, I think so. I put a lot of thought into that, and some stuff I thought about. I took notes, and then some of the stuff just popped in my head as I was doing the video, as usual. But I didn't take any notes on General Hospital. I just thought that today's episode was eh, until like the last moment of the episode, which also leads me to. Sorry, it's very windy here and very bright still. Jordan, I've been back watching GH full time since June. And I learned that Jordan was doing undercover work trying to get close to Sidwell and stuff and follow him around or whatever. I guess she's supposed to be reporting back to somebody. I don't know who she, but I just never felt like she was actually doing anything. It was like you see them interacting like once every couple of months or so. And I'm like, she's been working with him this whole time, but she has absolutely no idea what this dude is doing. All the stuff that Sidwell has done to Christina, Sunny, Marco's mom, Britt, also she has no idea about any of this. Oh yeah, and shooting Dalton, what's that his name? The um professor with the creepy nipples, um shooting, popping him right in front of Brett. Jordan doesn't know any of this stuff, so it's like she's like the worst undercover person. I always swear, like watching Beyond the Gates and Jacob being undercover for like a month now or so, and he's found more information out about this than about the plasma ring than Jordan has figured out by Sidwell. And then also on Days of Our Lives, you had Kat Green going undercover to, bring down EJ Demir or whatever. And she's gotten more leadway with that within since the fall. And not only that, she found a way on her slips. But anyways, if you don't watch the slips, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But anyways, they're doing much better undercover work than Jordan has. Jordan's just been too busy trying to get back with Curtis. Yeah, so she's a horrible undercover cop person. But anyways, yeah, because Sidwell, I mean, he's really good, but I mean, it's still still there's still something that you could have found out, a little teeny something or another, but whatever. Yeah. Speaking of, but it sounds like she's starting to get closer or something. Sidwell was trying to figure out, more about what happened to his son, and I guess she's talking to somebody in forensics to get them talking. Yeah, I guess that's, I don't know, like I gotta remember that sometimes things get dragged out. It's annoying, but it's like they're trying to wait for the right time to spring everything on it. So hopefully this is a good payoff, whatever. But Curtis is cool with Portia and Isaiah dating, and they got to see the ultrasound. But we didn't actually see them have the ultrasound. I don't know. I don't really care. But what was I saying? Oh, Chase going over and telling Willow that Wiley asks what a hooker is. Oh my gosh, I'm still laughing at that. I was laughing too hard when Wiley walked up to them and was like, "What's a hooker?" Oh my gosh. I was like, "Dad, this is horrible timing, horrible timing." But I think Brooklyn and Chase handled that so well, especially Brooklyn. Yeah, the caseworker was looking and taking notes. I'm like, oh goodness. But I'd say that they handled it very well. And then Chase went over to get Willow's endorsement. And I'm like, the girl was just on trial for attempting to kill her husband. So I don't know how well that would look good, but whatever, do whatever. I guess it was just a way for Willow to find out that Wiley was asking about hookers. I guess it's a way to help Willow maybe get more custody of her children. Because if you remember, Sidwell, he's the one that actually bribed the judge to give Michael full custody. So now I wonder. Oh, I highly doubt that Willow knows that, and Drew, Drew probably doesn't know that either. But anyway, speaking of Drew, we got to see him today. And that bag that's hanging by his bed, I'm like, that looks like straight piss. And I'm like, it could be. It could be. It probably is his piss. I don't think that's. I've never seen IV that was that color. IV fluid that's that color, but I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But oh my gosh, Portia, little Portia, Trina, and Kai have to be so freaking stupid to go, and they basically just told on themselves. It's like Kai mentioned the bat. Well, now Trina's gonna help Kai coach James's baseball team, little t-ball team. Is it still considered baseball? Um, but anyways, they mentioned the bat, and he asked about it. Did they ever return the bat? And Willows doesn't think so. So she had to follow up on that, which I'm surprised nobody was able to pull the prints off. No, I think they did do the prints on the bits, and it got really dark. I think they did do the prints on the bat, but it was like a lot of different prints, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm mixing up shows or whatever. But anyways, not only that, but Willow's phone started ringing. Wiley was calling, and they mentioned that that was Wiley's ringtone. I was like, yeah, that's Wiley's ringtone. And then she went to, I guess, look for her phone, but couldn't find her phone. And Kai and Trina were about to leave, and Kai told her that was in the hall, it was in the living room by the door. And she picked it up. She's like, yeah, it was. He's like, how did you know? And he's like, oh, the ringtones they carry into the rooms and stuff. And then he was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, we gotta go. Bye. So yeah, so now Willow's just sitting there like, how does he know that? Because he was there when you popped Drew two times in the back, and Drew was just laying in bed, and he was having flashbacks, and he remembers hearing that ringtone, and then he was like, oh crap, well, he already knows that Willow did it, but I think that he knows too now that at least Kai was there, possibly Trina as well, when he got popped, and they didn't do anything. So mm. But yeah, so they're stupid for telling on themselves, so now Willow's about to go after them. I won't be sad if she does something to mess up with them. They need some excitement in their lives too. uh so that's pretty much all that really happened on this episode, I think. uh Mike, Brooklyn being mad and stealing all the juice. I was like, what is your stepmom that did it? Olivia, she's just so fucking annoying. She's telling Michael that he needs to be careful about locking the doors if he's going to bang his hooker girlfriend. But she only sent Wiley out of the room for a few minutes to go get his boots, put his boots up. It's not going to take him that long. He was eventually going to come back. And you're sitting up here talking about hookers. Not only that, but you raised your voice and screamed hooker. Like, you need to shut the hell up and listen to your own damn advice. I cannot stand her. Can Willow take her out? Like, seriously, I don't really see a reason for Olivia anymore. I was like, she barely hangs out with Dante, and she wasn't around Geo either. It was like I was always wondering, this, her meddling like she's doing in Michael's life, but she doesn't meddle with trying to get Geo and Dante to be friends, or look more friendly to help Geo see that Dante's not really an asshole, but yes, yeah, he's pretty. Anyways, Dante has his assholiness. He's been more assholiness since I've been backwash. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had to say about the show. So do you think Cassius is do you think that he's Nathan's twin, or just um Faison's spawn that have no idea who his mama is? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more General Hospital reviews. Well, I guess I guess technically this is a review. More of a reaction. I don't know. I'll think about what I will name it in the floor. It's just been one of those days. Anyways, and where do you think that General Hospital ranked on my list of soaps for this month? Yeah, I do soap rankings. If you don't know that, I do that at the end of the month, and I rank soaps from the worst to the best. So where do you think General Hospital has landed on that? I will be doing that video sometime this week. I don't know. This it's a very busy week, but I will do it. I already started taking my notes, which I should do more throughout the month so I remember. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. Thank you for watching. Love you guys. Bye.